Back in my day, the girls were boys and the boys were girls.
What did he say?
Girls were boys and the boys were girls.
If you were really into shoujo manga during the early 2000s like me, then you've seen this before. It was a very popular trend and it was pretty much inescapable at the time. When I talk about gender benders, I'm not talking about a female character that looks masculine or a male character that looks feminine. And I'm not talking about a girl and a boy that switch places and they're in the opposite gender's body. What I'm talking about is a very specific genre or category or trope that was very popular. This gender bender phenomenon can be explained as when a main character of one gender pretends to be another for whatever reason and they have to conceal their identity. Now, how long they keep this secret varies. I'm gonna be honest, most of them get found out chapter 1. Now, a really great example, and probably one of the most popular examples of this, is Ouran High School Host Club. Haruhi has to pretend to be a male host to pay off her debts for breaking that damn vase. Now, this whole video was sparked by the fact that Hana Kimi is getting an anime, so that whole announcement kind of brought me to a shock. It was not on my 2024 bingo board. It may have been on my 2014 bingo board. I feel like that was more realistic, but either way, I'm pretty excited. I did enjoy Hana Kimi, and honestly, I love to see more shoujo anime adaptations coming through. Let's be honest, the amount of shoujo manga versus shonen manga that get anime adaptations, the disparity is jaw-dropping. And let's not even talk about josei anime or LGBTQ plus anime adaptations, because that's a whole nother story. So, where did the gender bender genre originate from? Through thorough research on the internet, aka Google, it actually can be traced back to the mangaka Osamu Tezuka. Now, Osamu Tezuka is considered the father of manga, and I can see why, because his most famous works are Astro Boy, Kimba the White Lion, and Blackjack. But it was his manga Ribbon no Kishi, or Princess Knight, that actually gave birth to this shoujo trend all the way back in 1953. If you're unfamiliar, Princess Knight follows Sapphire, a princess who's been pretending to be a prince since birth so that she could be the rightful heir to the throne. Now, the whole reason being is that there is no male heir, and that would mean the kingdom would fall into the hands of an evil duke and their son. So, Princess or Prince Sapphire basically has to keep her identity a secret for the greater good of the world. So Sapphire actually goes on adventures crime fighting as the Phantom Knight to protect her kingdom from evil. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the plot is a little more complicated than that, and I would say go ahead and watch the series on your own. It's considered a classic, but you got the gist. Who would have thought that this series would birth a whole new type of anime and manga to be put out into the world? When asked, Tezuka said he was inspired by an all-female musical theater group called the Takarazuka Revue, where all the roles, male and female, were played by women. And this is what led to gender bender. I'm gonna be honest and say that the majority of gender bender mangas that I read, the reasoning behind the cross-dressing wasn't anything noble, like Princess Sapphire trying to protect her kingdom from evil. A lot of the reasoning was ridiculous and very unrealistic. Sometimes it's not even our main character that's the reason that they have to gender bend. In Power, or Girl Got Game, our main character, Kyo's father, is the one who forcefully enrolls her as a boy so she could join the basketball team and live out his dreams. So Kyo has to conceal her identity on the court and even in the boys' locker room. There are quite a lot of gender bender series that revolve around sports, and it highlights the inequity of the opportunities and support in female versus male sports. Sometimes our main characters get themselves into these predicaments because of love. And a good example of that is Hana Kimi. Hana Kimi is about Mizuki, who one day sees a track and field star, Sano, compete on the high jump. And she pretty much becomes obsessed to the point where she travels from the United States to Japan to masquerade as a boy at an all-boys school to support her idol. Now, I loved Hana Kimi, but looking back, this was wild. This was kind of creepy too, but you know, it's just a story. Even at times, the gender bending can be used as a means for revenge. And a good manga for this is Uwasu no Midori-kun, or the rumored Midori-kun. Don't let this cute art fool you for a second. It's about a country girl named Midori who is taught by another kid how to play soccer, and she ends up falling in love with this kid and soccer. One day, Midori meets him again in middle school. But why? Why did he play her? He played her out her draws, y'all. For a dare. For some money. I was screaming. I probably shouldn't have been reading this as a kid, but I came out fine. She then swears revenge on him by joining the rival soccer team as a boy. If I didn't include Basara, what kind of person would I be? This manga is about a girl and her twin brother who is considered the child of destiny. So it was prophesied before his birth that he was going to stop the tyranny of the empire and bring independence to their country. Now, the brother's killed off. And now the sister has to pretend to be her brother to continue the rebellion as a symbol of hope for her people. Now, I gave you some prime examples of when the female main character pretends to be a boy, but let me give you some examples of when we see the opposite, where we see the male main character has to pretend to be a girl. Charming Junkie is a good example of this. Naka is an inspiring model who is pretty bad at it, but Yumi, a super popular female model, ends up helping her out on her modeling journey if she can keep a secret. And the secret is Yumi is a boy who got caught up in some modeling contracts and has to continue pretending to be a girl model. Now, this manga actually really focuses on Naka and her dream to be a model and the growth that she makes with the help of Yumi, of course. I'm gonna warn you for this one. Sister complex alert. Mitna Bakuro, or We Are Twins, is about two twins, Maria, a girl, and Noel, a boy, who are super close, but one day Maria decides to go and do her own thing and go to a boarding school. But Noel, who has a very unhealthy attachment to Maria, swears that he's going to bring her back from this boarding school. Problem is, there's only one spot left, and it's for a female student. The manga follows Noel and his comedic misadventures of pretending to be a girl, which I think he actually does a pretty funny job doing it. Now, this is one of my favorite series. This series called W Juliet. This manga follows Ito, a member of the drama club. Despite having short hair and dressing like a boy, she's a girl. But that's not the gender bender here. In comes the beautiful new transfer student named Makoto. Now, Makoto and Ito become best buddies as they are casted for Romeo and Juliet. But we soon find out Makoto isn't a girl. Makoto is a guy. So Makoto dreams of being an actor, but his dad disapproved, but gave him a kind of messed up situation and told him that he could pursue his dreams of acting if he was able to disguise himself as a female student and graduate. Isn't that ridiculous? So Ito helps Makoto hide his identity so they can both pursue their dreams, and they fall in love, and yeah. Looking back, I have very fond memories of reading these mangas in the early 2000s, and I don't really see this trend as big as it was back then. I could be wrong. There's probably a lot of reasons why. Maybe it was like a tired trope. For me, I believe it has to do with how society and its evolution, and we have much more nuanced and open conversations about gender identity and gender presentation. Or maybe these series just don't hit like they used to. Who knows? But for those who did enjoy these series, which ones did you like? Go ahead and comment below. And I probably read them. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like I've read thousands of shoujo manga, and I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything. That's all I used to do when I was younger. So go ahead and let me see if there's ones that I haven't read. And as always, if you can like, subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I've been trying to make more content. I've been trying to be more open, more brave. I've been trying to be brave. I feel like there is some fear in myself when you put yourself out there. And honestly, when I made this YouTube channel, or I decided that I want to make YouTube videos or anime content or manga content, it's because I really enjoyed it. And I know other people really enjoy it and just wanted to talk about it. And now we have the means to go ahead and talk about it, and everybody around the world through social media can be a part of that conversation. And yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and bye.